I remember no seats at the table, so I built the house the table resides in. Now if they want to have a seat at the table, I tell them to dial in, and my assistant will handle the call and direct you to where you want to be. I'm even making the small changes in life, y'all, like changing from Sprint to AT&T. I remember being stressed out and overlooked. Nowadays, I'm still stressed out. But more because I'm overbooked. No, I remember going shopping just to buy one outfit at the mall. That's a shame. Because nowadays, when I see something I like in multiple colors, I go, let me get them all. And look, I know that may sound a little intense, but I'm thinking differently now. We ain't got to knock. We got people that'll open the door, and I'm going to hold it for your grandkids, and I'm going to give them a tour, because I remember them days when I would have to call in and pay my bills 35 days late, and they would ask me why, and I didn't know what to say. Nowadays, things are going so good, y'all, even my child support's on auto pay. But this poem ain't no flex. Nah, this poem ain't no flex. I'm just sharing some things in my life that's working out. Because I remember them days when I would sit in my house and cry because life was so bad. Now I cry because life is so good. Y'all, even my tears taste different. No more dropping tears because of struggle. Nowadays, I drop tears to remain humble, because I know in an instant I can go right back, and that thought alone is what keeps me on track. So I always stay in my bag, so I never got to chase a bag. And that is exactly why they call me Backpack. Thank you. I didn't learn how to study until my senior year of my undergraduate degree. I was 22 years old when I learned how to study. I got this thing called ADHD, and for some reason I can't seem to study for extended periods of time. And then I met this guy who's very famous and makes a lot of money, and he told me, if you got ADHD, you should do what I do, because he's got ADHD as well. He only studies in 2-hour increments. That's it. 2-hour increments, take a 15 to 30 minute break to do something else, and then go back to studying for another 2 hours. If you can't do it for 2 hours, do it for an hour, and then break for about 15 minutes, and then go back to doing it. And I started to do that, and all of a sudden my grades started to change. But I love math, because math was absolute. Math was definite. Math, you knew when you got it right or you got it wrong. If it was reading and comprehending, it's one of the things, like, you knew. With reading, sometimes you didn't know if it was right or wrong. You know, you can get part of it right in reading and writing, and you can get some of it wrong. And math is either right or it's wrong. That was it. That's what I love. I'm a black and white person. It either is or it isn't. I don't do too much in the gray area. And so I thought a lot about life, and I realized that life was just like solving for X. Life was literally just like solving for X. Because life is nothing but one series of problems that you have to solve after another. You know what my biggest problem was when I was growing up in high school? My mom, I grew up in Washington, D.C., Suitland, Temple Hill, Oxon Hill, Forestville, so Prince George's County, or PG County as we called it back during that time. That's where I grew up at. My mom, single mom of 4, my dad sold drugs. That was my first challenge. The earliest memory that I have as a child is my house being kicked in by the SWAT team looking for drugs in my house because of my dad. It's the earliest memory that I have. It's the first chapter in my book. I remember the police kicking in my door, SWAT masks, SWAT vests, ARs, all of it. That's the first memory that I ever have in my life was that. That was my first challenge that I ever had to figure out.